There are a lot of reasons. You know, there's stress that had a big part of it. Everyone was feeling stressed at the time. I wasn't helping myself with my behavior. Now he's had to start at the bottom, or he had to beg for a job, which is very ironic because I gave him the lines about, you know, and Edison about, hey, you know, I'm going to drive a taxi, which pretty soon I might be driving a taxi. You know, in the end, it was what I wanted on the show was that's what the show was going to be. So in that way, I guess you could say maybe I was a little difficult to work with, but I would want something done a certain way because I truly believe that was the best way to do it. So that was one of the reasons. There's other reasons that'll come out during the course of the interview, but I understand why it happened. You know, everything in life happens for a reason. I'm not going to say I was burned out because I promised myself when Ring of Honor first started I'd never say that. I'd never get burned out. I'll let people be the judge if I was burned out or not. By the time we get to this interview, you know, at the end of the interview, you'll see.
Well, if I asked Nigel, and if I went in the locker room and asked, were you burned out?
I don't think that they would say I was burned out. I can honestly say that. There's not enough characters and storylines in Ring of Honor. Well, there are a lot of characters and storylines, but the bottom line is that people, in my belief, don't buy DVDs for characters and storylines. The problem with the pay-per-views is that we didn't get the kind of promotion that we thought we were going to get for them. Our last show in Dayton in June, in my opinion, sucked. My plan was just to do what it took to keep this thing alive. So let's open up the book. The book has not been opened up, well, it was opened up a couple of times, but it has not been opened up in about a month or so. It would be rewritten several times, but that's what we had right now. I kind of worked out this formula, and it kind of always worked out timing-wise. They should be in the locker room by 8:20.
Never going to be able to defend the 4-hour shows now by saying, hey, we just ran over, because you're rigidly timed. There's the cat's out of the bag.
But people didn't always follow the times. This is the primary talent roster right here. Then I would refer to the second page when we need filling guys. Here's the guys that can come in, give an immediate push to. And then we go to the main event, of which I booked myself into a corner. It was so hard to get momentum with them and to get them on the shows that you needed to get them on. And that's why he was never pushed more in Ring of Honor. Only the world title's on the line. Now, I booked it, announced it, you know, I thought it was cool. Then I started to think about it a little bit more. Maybe that's a sign of burnout that I booked this before, given a lot of thought, but again, I won't admit to burnout. I would probably cut half the guys on that roster sheet that you just saw. Basically, I was going to try to cover that up by giving Steen and Generico a nice solid double team win over Go Shiozaki, so the people will get to see him hit some double teams, a nice win. Adam Pearce. Hi, Adam. You can go in and say, hey, here's your pay-per-view main event rematch, so you can get away with doing that match there and hype it up as a big match. You're getting a pay-per-view main event rematch there. You know, you have the whole Aries and Age of the Fall issue in there, so you get that. You have to give them their money's worth. You have to make it worth their while, and it's always a huge compliment that they're willing to do that for you. They could go on the message board and say this sucked and this sucked and this sucked, but the bottom line is, you know, did you come to our live show? Did you have a good time? Did you buy a DVD? It's been a fantastic 14 years. If this is the last thing I do in wrestling, which there is a strong possibility is the last thing I do in wrestling,